Good evening. I always get a little jammed up at that part. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be for you. For me, it is Wednesday evening, and I am looking toward the readings for Thursday. So I'm down to the wire. But welcome into my kitchen. I was going to start making a coffee and kind of do it like. And I realized I'd had my back to the camera for too much of this. The readings for tomorrow are great. They're great for a lot of reasons. They're great because it's a gospel about a topic that I think many of our parishioners and I think people in general are just interested in engaging with. We have the story today of the servant who is looking for, his master pulls him in and says, you owe me this great lump sum of money, and he falls to his knees and he begs for forgiveness and please don't put me in jail, and the master takes pity on him, and the master shows him mercy and lets him go. And on his way out the door, he sees another servant who owes him a much smaller sum. And they describe him as literally start choking him, and he throws him in jail because he can't afford to pay him back, and he does the exact opposite of what his master had done for him. And today, so the topic is obviously, this what we're being called to in today's gospel is to the spirit of forgiveness. And it reminds me so much of, Monsignor can watch this and correct me later if I'm wrong about the why we were doing this, but I think it was at the very beginning when we were first developing the Faith 365 groups. We had this big lay leadership gathering, and there were a whole bunch of us sitting in St. Francis Hall, and we were just looking for if we're developing content for things that people want to discuss, what are some topics you would be especially interested in? And as a way to get our list a little more focused, we said, all right, we have all these topics. If you're really interested in discussing service and justice, you're going to go sit in the table on the back left of the room, and if you're going to be interested in another topic, you're going to be in the front left, and you're going to be over here if you're interested in this other topic, and then in the front right, and I forget how many topics we offer, but in the front right was the table for forgiveness. And as a member of the staff, I'm looking around and just saying all right, not really interested in this topic, but there's a table here with 3 people, so I'm going to sit down and help this conversation go a little more smoothly because some of the other tables had more people. And one of the really funny things that happened is at my table, I noticed somebody kind of came up and said, hey, and we were excited, oh, another person's coming, and they came up, they said, can I take this chair, do you mind? And they carried it over to the forgiveness table, which, if the most any table beyond that one had was maybe 6, forgiveness probably had 18. There were a whole lot of people, spread out. No one was sitting at the table, it was a big, wide group, because I think it's a topic that touches all of us. It's a topic that all of us are either looking to be forgiven, and are being called to forgive. And I think typically we're being called to forgive almost daily. It's whether or not we're listening to that calling that's in question. It's human nature to need forgiveness and to make mistakes and all that kind of stuff. For some of us, the forgiveness that we're being called to forgive is for a bigger harm, and it's painful and it's challenging, and I think that's our opportunity today when we look at this reading, is to really ask ourselves, especially now, especially now when it's been so challenging over the past 5+ months to be at home, for many of us to be isolated, where like the things that seemed, I'll speak from my own experience, the things that seemed really important, and the things that were felt really justified, honestly, about a month into this, they didn't seem anything other than silly, and there were a lot of phone calls that I made, and it wasn't saying, hey, like, I forgive you, or can I be, it was just extending a hand and having a conversation. So I think today, what I will leave you with is to really consider, as a person of faith, as people of faith, where are we? Where are you, being called by God to that spirit of forgiveness? And perhaps as an assignment that I'll take on myself, and I have at least 2 people in mind. I'm Irish. I love a grudge. But I have those 2 people that I'll even give the assignment for myself, that, for tomorrow, for me, for today, for you. If I take that time to consider this, maybe to make it an action, to make my faith and my prayer an action by saying, who do I call today? And maybe it's not the big, full-out conversation of addressing it all. I'm not forcing anything there, but maybe it is just to extend a hand, and say, hey, it's been a while since you and I have spoken. It's been a crazy time. Just reaching out to see how you're doing. I hope all is well. So that's what I will leave you with. I hope all is well, and everyone is safe and healthy, and that I will, as I always end with, see you soon, at our spiritual home. All right.